Namaskar. Last week we reflected on religion versus Dharma, the difference between institutional identity and eternal order, between belief and being, between ritual and righteousness. This week we rise again, we rise higher, we ask a deeper question, a cosmic question, a timeless question. Why do avatars descend? Is it mythology? Is it poetry? Is it psychology? Or is it cosmic necessity? Today, we explore cosmic law, moral entropy, and scientific parallels, and we shall discover that the descent of the divine is not an emotional decision, it is a universal law. And the law of Dharma, that is a cosmic order. Sanatana Dharma does not begin with a prophet, it begins with Rita, the cosmic order. The sun rises not by belief but by law. The tides move not by prayer but by gravity. The heart beats not by ideology but by rhythm. Similarly, society survives not by slogans but by dharma. And when dharma declines, imbalance begins. And when imbalance begins, entropy increases. And when entropy increases beyond tolerance, correction becomes inevitable. In physics, we call it equilibrium restoration. In ecology, we call it self regulation. In economics, we call it market correction. In Dharma, we call it Avatara. And the divine promise, let us chant the most powerful declaration from Bhagavad Gita. Yata yata yada yada hi dharmasya bhavati bharata abhidhanam adharmasya tada atmanam sujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya sadushkritam dharma samsavanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever dharma declines and adharma rises, I manifest myself, Lord says, to protect the righteous, to destroy the destructive forces, to re-establish dharma. I appear age after age, Lord Krishna. This is not mythology. This is metaphysics. This is cosmic governance. And moral entropy, a scientific parallel. In thermodynamics, entropy means disorder increases over time unless energy is applied. Leave a room unattended, dust gathers. Leave the mind unattended, confusion gathers. Leave society unattended, corruption gathers. That is moral entropy. When greed replaces gratitude, when power replaces principle, when ego replaces empathy, entropy rises. An avatar is a cosmic energy injected into a collapsing moral system. And like a software update correcting corrupted code, like antivirus removing malware, like immune response fighting infection, divinity, divinity is not passive, it is corrective intelligence. And avatara, not fantasy, but frequency. The word avatara means descent, not migration, not reincarnation, but deliberate manifestation. When high voltage enters a transformer, it steps down to usable levels. When infinite consciousness interacts with finite being, it steps down into form. Just as electricity is invisible but manifests as light, heat, or motion, divine consciousness manifests as Rama, Krishna, Narasimha, and the source remains infinite. The expression becomes relatable. Example from Dashavatara. And let us briefly reflect upon the evolutionary symbolism of the 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu. Matsya, the fish, water life; Kurma, the tortoise, amphibian stability; Varaha, the boar, land mammal dominance; Narasimha, half man, half lion, transition of instinct to intellect; Vamana, the dwarf, emerging human consciousness; Parasurama, the axe warrior, forest civilization; Rama, the ideal king, rule of law and ethics; Krishna, the divine strategist, complex diplomacy and intellect; Buddha, compassion revolution; and Kalki, future purifier. System reset. Charles Darwin described biological evolution. Sanatana Dharma described spiritual evolution thousands of years earlier. And coincidence, yes, or cosmic insight. And Rama, the embodiment of Dharma. Rama descended when monarchy and needed morality. He could have ruled by power. He ruled by principle. When he lost the kingdom, he did not lose character. When he lost comfort, he did not lose composure. For 14 years in exile, Dharma did not exile him. And Rama teaches leadership is not dominance, it is discipline. And Krishna, the strategic avatara. Krishna descended in an era of political chaos. He did not fight blindly, he guided intelligently. He taught Arjuna not escapism, but engagement, not renunciation of duty, but purification of intention. And Krishna proves spirituality is not withdrawal from battlefield, it is wisdom within battlefield. And why not constant intervention, you may ask. If God descends when Dharma declines, why not prevent decline itself? Because free will is sacred. If gravity prevents you from flying off earth, Dharma prevents society from flying into chaos. But only if humans cooperate. Divine descent is not control, it is correction. An avatara in the modern times. If you look from scientific lens, think of a planet. When carbon rises beyond threshold, climate reacts. When virus spreads beyond tolerance, immune system reacts. When injustice rises beyond limit, history reacts. Avatara is cosmic immune response. And the Gita's deeper message, very powerful words. Sarva dharman parijyadya mam ekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva pabebhyo moksha ishmami ma susaha. That is, surrender ego-driven identities, align with ultimate truth. Freedom in follows. Krishna is not asking for religious conversion. He is asking for alignment with Dharma. Powerful message for the modern generation. You live in an age of AI, algorithms, and automation. But the greatest intelligence remains constant. You can code machines, but can you code morality? You can connect globally, but are you connected internally? An avatara does not descend only in a body, it descends in awareness. When you choose truth over trend, avatara manifests. When you choose service over selfishness, avatara manifests. When you choose courage over convenience, avatara manifests. And the future, the Kalki principle. Kalki symbolizes systemic reset. Every corrupt system eventually collapses. Every unjust empire eventually falls. Every adharmic structure eventually dissolves. History confirms what Dharma proclaimed. And when chaos grows, cosmos knows. When injustice spreads, balance threats. When fear expands, faith commands. When darkness thrives, Dharma arrives. Not as thunder alone, but as conscience within. And Avatara is not only divine descent, it is a human ascent. Do not wait for God to come riding a horse. Become the force. Be Rama in integrity. Be Krishna in clarity. Be Buddha in compassion. Be Kalki in courage. Sanatana Dharma is not past glory. It is present responsibility. It is future possibility. Let us remember Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya, Mrityor Ma Amridam Gamaya. That is, from untruth, lead me to truth. From darkness, lead me to light. From mortality, lead me to immortality. So, modern physics tells us something fascinating. At the quantum level, particles behave unpredictably. Yet, at the macro level, the universe remains astonishingly ordered. Why? Because beneath apparent chaos lies governing intelligence, laws that hold galaxies in position and atoms in balance. Similarly, human society at the surface may appear chaotic. Wars, greed, misinformation, confusion. But beneath it operates Dharma, the stabilizing framework. When devotions exceed tolerance limits, correction occurs. In engineering, we call it a feedback loop. In control systems, we call it a stability mechanism. In cyber security, we call it intrusion detection and response. In Sanatana Dharma, we call it Avatara. An avatara is not emotional reaction, it is cosmic calibration. Just as GPS recalibrates when you take a wrong turn, divine intelligence recalibrates civilization when humanity drifts too far from truth. And consider climatic science. For centuries, humans exploit nature. Deforestation increases, oceans warm, glaciers melt, then nature responds. Storms intensify, ecosystems shift. This is not revenge, this is regulation. Sanatana Dharma taught thousands of years ago. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. Dharma protects those who protect it. When we protect ecological dharma, rivers, forests, air, nature sustains us. When we violate ecological dharma, imbalance returns. And avatara is in ancient times restored social dharma. In modern times, the avatara principle may awaken ecological consciousness and artificial intelligence. Today's youth speak of language of AI, blockchain, quantum computing. Let me ask you, you train AI with data. Who trains your consent? You debug software. Who debugs your ego? You install antivirus for your laptop. What antivirus protects your mind from anger, jealousy, and hatred? Avatara represents conscious system upgrade. When Sri Krishna appeared, he upgraded moral reasoning. He introduced strategic ethics, action without attachment. When Rama appeared, he upgraded governance, rule of law over rule of impulse. Each avatara is like version 2 of human civilization. Now the question for today's generation, are you waiting for version 10 or are you becoming contributors to the next update? So, neuroscience reveals that empathy activates specific neutral circuits. Compassion is measurable. Meditation reshapes the brain. This is remarkable. And the rishis declared long ago, the mind is programmable, consciousness is trainable, character is cultivable. When dharma declines externally, it reflects internal neutral patterns, fear circuits dominating wisdom circuits. So, an avatara shifts collective consciousness. Krishna and Kurukshetra did not change by only Arjuna. He altered civilizational psychology. And in physics, entropy always increases unless energy is applied. A neglected building decays. An unexercised muscle weakens. An undisciplined mind deteriorates. And similarly, an unguarded society slides into moral entropy. Youth are the energy input. If you withdraw into apathy, entropy wins. If you engage with integrity, dharma stabilizes. Avatara doesn't is divine intervention, but Dharma survival is human participation. So, psychology speaks of archetypes, universal symbols in collective consciousness. So, the hero, the protector, the guide. Rama is archetype of integrity. Krishna is archetype of wisdom. Narasimha is archetype of fearless justice. These archetypes live within you. When injustice arises in your office and you speak truth, Narasimha awakens. When confusion clouds your family and you respond calmly, Krishna awakens. When temptation tests your character and you remain steadfast, Rama awakens. Avatara is not distant history, it is present potential. And many await Kalki as future warrior on a white horse, but reflect deeply. White horse symbolizes purity of energy. Sword symbolizes discrimination, Viveka. So, in today's world, misinformation spreads faster than wildfire. The Kalki principle may manifest as clarity cutting through confusion. Perhaps Kalki is not destruction of people, but destruction of ignorance. So, my message to the modern youth, you are the most connected generation in history, yet anxiety is rising, depression is rising, identity confusion is rising, because connection without direction creates chaos. Sanatana Dharma gives direction. It does not imprison thought, it refines thought. It does not suppress science, it harmonizes science with spirituality. The West mastered external technology, Bharat mastered internal technology. Now, the future belongs to those who integrate both. Be engineers with ethics, be entrepreneurs with empathy, be influencers with integrity. And when values fall, Dharma calls. When systems shake, Avatara awake. When hearts divide, wisdom guides. When shadows grow, light will flow. Do not merely admire Avataras, embody their attributes. Do not ask when God will descend. Ask when will I ascend. And Avatara descent is cosmic compassion. Human ascent is spiritual responsibility. If Dharma declines in society, correct society. If Dharma declines in family, correct family. If Dharma declines in yourself, correct yourself. Because the highest form of Avatara is awakened conscience. So, my mission Sanatana Dharma will continue, not as ritual repetition, but as conscious evolution. May each of you become a stabilizing force in unstable times, a luminous mind in confusing times, a courageous heart in fearful times. This is the true celebration of Avatara. Best regards, Raju Krishnan, Hyderabad.